Hello, beautiful people. I'm Jim McDermott, and this is my baby girl, Ava. Ava's going to be in the background, so if you hear any barking, don't get upset. All right, Ava, you've been introduced. Let's put you down. Love you, baby. There you go. Okay. Now, what I want to do in this first to say is welcome. Welcome to our BA462 class. It's exciting because this is the first class we're going to be working on together, doing completely online for the BA462. So this is an exciting time for me, and hopefully an exciting time for everyone that's involved with the class. What I'd like to get started with during our welcoming session is first to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our academic community, and I look forward to this semester. It should be a lot of fun. Corporate strategy, business strategy, that is the heart to being successful. As for myself, my background is small business, in particular as a former director of the Small Business Development Center here in the Fairbanks area, and also a counselor with the Service Corps of Retired Executive. I'm a small business counselor, and I just enjoy working with all of these entrepreneurs. And being with the small business side of the house, I get a chance to help them to develop those initial strategies. How do I compete out there in the world, especially with established businesses? And I'm now trying to go into these markets and pull away a share of these markets. So it can be quite exciting. Excuse me. Now, let's go through the syllabus and just spend a few minutes figuring out what we need to do. Let me start off with my background also. As far as my graduate program, I was in organizational management. I have a concentration in information technology. I saw a long time ago that that technology thing was going to probably catch on, so I should get on board. And I'm glad I did because now I have enough knowledge to be dangerous when it comes to technology. With all that said, here we go. Let's get this video going. Some high-tech technology here in its own self. I'll be looking down here at my notes, so don't mean to be rude. With that, the first thing I have here is my cover page for my syllabus, which you can find online at Blackboard under the tab. That'll be, let's see, as you're looking at it, it'll be over here on your left side. When you look at the tabs, you'll see one of your choices of syllabus. Just click on there and you'll be able to see the syllabus. And if you'd like to do that right now, you can read along as I'm going through. I have in here my office hours. I just have it as Monday, Wednesday, 1 to 2 p.m. But I'm much more flexible than that, especially for my online students. So you're not tied into that time. Just get a hold of me. Let me know when you'd like to meet, and we can do a face-to-face. I like to use Skype to do the face-to-face, so we keep that eye contact, body language gets involved. As many of you know, at this point in your studies, body language is what 80-85%, depending on who you're talking to when it comes to communication. So I like to do that. So if you'd like to set up a time just to chat, it could be about the class, it could be about an assignment. Let's do that. We'll have a lot of fun. You'll find on your syllabus, you'll find my Skype address, and at the very top it shows that it's just Jim.McDermott22 on Skype, and we're going to be great friends as we go through the semester. So remember, that's a great way for you to set up time to chat with me. Okay, your textbook. I love this textbook. Let me tell you, I work hard at trying to identify textbooks that really will fit and being a good read, not just you're not to pick on textbooks, not to be a dry read, but to be something you go, wow, this is explaining it. It gets down to the foundation and the grassroots. So here you go. Here's a picture of the book. Many of you may already have this one, Understanding Business Strategy, and of course you can see here it's the third edition that I have up right now. Who knows? By the time this, because I'm filming here a few months before the class gets started, actually. Who knows? There may be a new edition. If so, I'll let you know. Right now, we're going to be using the third edition. It's let's see here again. It's Understanding Business Strategy Concepts Plus third edition, and it's through Cengage. Okay, important notice here. It says that the course is designed as an oral intensive. That's what makes this class a little bit more challenging because we've got to be able to work that oral intensive into our classroom. And here's the plan. The plan is that you will all be doing a series of individual throughout the semester, and you'll see them in your syllabus, and we'll go over them really quick here in a minute. You'll have 3 individual presentations. Those presentations will be put into a discussion board. Just like you're going to find threaded discussions where we have, the text method, that's going to be in this semester also, but we're also going to be adding in an oral or video um, threading discussions going on too. So you'll be depositing and instructions will be put out there for you to follow. You'll be depositing your videos, and then other students can come in and view, make comments. What will happen a week after your initial setup with your video? Let's say it's week 3 and you're doing a video, or week 2. Let's use week 2. Week 2, you put in a video. What happens on week 3, then every student is responsible to go select 2 videos. And I'll give some guidance on that as we move forward. You'll select 2 videos working with your instructor, and then you'll do an evaluation on those videos. And then, of course, I evaluate the evaluators. All of this is explained within your syllabus. It should be a lot of fun, and it'll make sure that we take care of that requirement that's really necessary for this particular course, which incorporates the oral intensive. At the very end of the semester, you'll be doing a group oral presentation video that also will be evaluated by your fellow students, and it should be a lot of fun. Remember, when you're presenting in this environment, the academic environment, it's a friendly environment. We're all rooting for you, and relax, don't get nervous. But if you have any questions, again, remember my office hours. You can Skype with me and we can chat, and we'll get that worked out if there's any more questions. I'm going to talk about it more. We're going to have instructions laid out. Life's going to be good. Okay, let's see here. It gives some of the course objectives within your syllabus. I'm not going to read them to you. You can go back and look at the syllabus, read the course objectives. It just says here, though, at the very top, by the end of the semester, students will appreciate a number of interesting, constructive, and often conflicting strategy models that will be proven to be useful in your careers as you move forward. And it says you'll build upon these methods and become even a stronger manager in the future, strategic manager in the future. Okay, what else did I want to touch on? Lots of stuff to touch on. Talks about your honesty in here. It's assumed. Plagiarizing, as you know in the academics, is maybe one of the worst things, if not the worst thing you can do. So please be aware of that. When you're looking at other people's postings, don't do a copy and paste. I know you're saying, well, you're saying the obvious. Well, I'm saying the obvious because I've had students do that. And with that, then that becomes plagiarizing, and we have to move forward. I feel confident we won't have that problem, but I need to address it before we get started. Okay. It says here, classroom assignments or requirements will include, we'll have videos, not that it'll be every week, but weekly. We'll have either a video, we'll have reviews, essays, discussion questions that are going on. Let's talk a little bit about the discussion questions. You have a series of discussion questions. I believe it was 7, if I remember right. Let me look here real quick. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, maybe it was 4, 5. Yeah, okay. It looks like it was about 5 different DQs or 5 different chapter DQs. Each week that there's a discussion question, I refer to them as DQs, you'll have the DQ itself that you'll have to respond to as a student. And then you're required to do 2 follow-ups with other students, which means you need to go in and give them feedback. And I'm looking for substantial feedback. I'm not looking for, oh, great job, boy, well worded. No. What I'm looking for is for you to look at the theory and give some, whether it be application-based or some type of constructive feedback that the individual that you're chatting with can go, oh, wow, you're enlightened, you were allowed, you gave enlightenment type of advice, and that's what we're looking for. In particular, it's what I'm looking for. It can be a lot of fun. So you'll have a few weeks where you'll be doing your discussion questions. And as I said, when you do your DQs, your discussion questions, you'll have 2 during the week that you get a discussion question. And so with that, I believe I have everything laid out for you when they're due. So I'm going to look at your syllabus. On week 3, you have your first discussion question. And on week 3, your discussion questions come from chapter 2. Now you'll find the DQs, just like I talked about earlier, when you're looking at Blackboard, and on the left-hand side you'll find a list of different categories, and of course you'll see discussions. Just click on discussions, there's your discussion questions. And you'll see that it'll be assigned by week, like this one here is week 3, and you'll have discussion question 1 and 2. Discussion question 1, your follow-up as a student to discussion question 1 is due on a Tuesday for the first one, and by Thursday for the second discussion question. And then of course, then you have the follow-up for other students, and those follow-ups are due by the Saturday of the week, that is, which would be week 3 in the first series. Again, don't miss the opportunity to take these, because I don't accept late assignments. So ask questions early, don't ask questions late. So be proactive versus reactive. Now, if you hear any noise in the background, I have a constructor, I have somebody putting in a new floor for us on the first floor. It's going to make a little bit of noise. And of course, my puppies sometimes get barking at anything that moves. Okay. Speaking of that, my puppy is right on cue. Okay, speaking of the next area I wanted to touch on, let's see, we touched on the discussion questions. We touched on the oral presentations. Next, let's see here. For the oral presentations, they're for the independent ones or the individual ones, they're 5 to 7 minutes in length. I'm very much a stickler for quality. I'm very much a stickler for the time. So I'm looking for a minimum of 5, a maximum of 7. I'm looking for rehearsed, well-prepared videos. Not 3 minutes before midnight, I have to have this in. Let me put together a video. It's always evident if that happens. I hope it doesn't. Be prepared. Do a good job with your videos. And then the last video, which will be a group video, and I'll assign the groups as we move along in the semester, will be a 15 to 20 minute presentation. So you'll have 3 5 to 7 minute presentations, oral presentations that you'll be doing videos. You'll put them onto a, what do they call that? YouTube. You'll put it onto a YouTube format. Then you'll put it onto the threaded discussion, and again, it'll be where everyone can view, just like if you're in a physical classroom, everybody can view your presentation. Any questions, again, get a hold of it. Okay. I'm just looking at some of this stuff. You're probably going, Jimmy, this is a long video. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, but the intro is always a little bit longer. Okay, then you can see, if you go through the tentative course schedule, you can see where right now we're doing the welcome into the BA462 class and going over everything. You can see I break it out, like for week 1, you'll be reading chapter 1, and I really expect that you've read the chapter, so when we're talking on the topics, you are prepared to be able to offer sagacious feedback. Of course, for week 1, you'll have a mini chapter case. So you'll be doing an essay. You'll read the mini case on the back of the chapter, and you'll turn in an essay. If you look on Blackboard, under assignments, you will find where to deposit those assignments. And then for week 2, you'll have your first video assignment, which will be driven by chapter 2. You're going to be reviewing the mini case and answering the questions via a video assignment, which means that you're going to be providing, I hope, application and comprehensive knowledge when you're giving back some feedback, and not just reiterating what we all just read in the case. So, further research is okay with me. All right, moving on, and then week 3 is where you have your first discussion questions. So you'll go to the discussion side on the left-hand side of your Blackboard. You'll find discussions, and then you'll do the 2 discussion questions for that week. Also during that week, you'll be doing your presentation of evaluations. So the week before, we saw we had the chapter 2 video assignment. Well, during week 3, you'll be assigned 2 students videos, fellow students, and you'll be doing an evaluation, which will get turned into me. The evaluation sheets can be found again, on the left-hand side under material. And under material, you'll find a link to the evaluation sheets, which you will fill out every time you do your evaluations, and then you will deposit that under the assignments. Again, now we're going to the assignment tab. You would deposit your feedback there. Okay. Again, any questions? Get a hold of me. So that's what we got going on, right? We have videos, We have DQs, and we have essays going on throughout the semester. So each week you'll have one or the other, and of course the video review is tucked in there at the same time the DQs are going on. So it should be a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy the format. But I'd love to get your feedback, and especially at the end of the semester, take your time, fill those out, give me your feedback, because we love to become better at what we're doing. I mean, for those of you who are okay with change, you understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes change just because doesn't work, but change to become better and to progress, that's a wonderful thing. All right. Week 5 is when I'll start breaking out your groups as far as what groups of people I'll choose your groups of 2 or 3, no more than 4, depending on the size of our class. If our class is really big, we may go to 4. Otherwise, I'm going to try to stay with groups of 2 and 3. And that'll be done on week 7. I use Roman numerals just to kind of break up the numbers there. And then I think you have your midterm too on week 7. So you do. You'll have your midterm, which is chapters 1 through 5, 50 questions, true, false, and multiple choice. I think that'll be just a piece of cake for you. If you've done your reading, I think it'll be just fine. Okay. And then we have the second half. We have spring break because I'm got that in my notes here too, but obviously there won't be any class during spring break. Okay, let's see here. Was there anything else I wanted to touch on the very end? The only thing I would say is be prepared for week 13, because right during week 13, your group video presentations need to be turned in. And of course, that gives everyone that week to review, to be able to next week to put in their peer presentation evaluations. Final exam, very much like the midterm, true, false, for the last 5 chapters, true, false, and multiple choice. Okay. And then I break it up for what the percentages are, so you'll be able to follow along here as we move forward. Like your essays are worth 16%, videos 15%, group videos another 15%. So you can see the videos are valued at 30% of your grade, so it's going to be really important you do well there. The evaluations of the videos is another 6%, and the group evaluation is 3%. So when you take all the video potential percentage points, we're looking at 39%. And I do participation points too, and you can earn up to another 12% or participation points. So participation in the class is valued at 12% of your grade, and it coincides with the DQs and the video presentations. So you can see there's a lot of points involved. A lot of large percentage of your grade is going to be wrapped around that particular category with the oral presentations. Okay, so with that, do a good job, and with that, I'm going to remind you once again to be proactive, because I don't accept, I'm going to underline that again for you, I don't accept late assignments. So please get with me beforehand if something's coming up, so you can chat with me and make sure everybody's on the same page, because if you come to me 2 weeks later and everything is late, and you're going to find that it's going to be difficult to be able to make up those classes. So either talk with me beforehand, or if you ever get yourself in a little bit of a pickle, this baseball talk, I see my Red Sox shirt behind me, you'll get yourself in a pickle or rundown, talk with your academic advisors too. They're there to help you, and just make sure you use the resources that are there at UAF for your advancement and for your needs. Okay, and then the discussion questions are valued at 13%, so that's a respectable part of your grade. I use a grading scale that uses the plus-minus system, so you will see, for an example, on your grading scale, I have here from 87 to 89 would be a B plus. Now let me tell you, if you get an 86.5, I bump you up to an 87. If you get an 86.4, well, an 86.4 is a B. So that's how I determine. I do go right down to the decimal point to try to get the students to the every advantage I can. I mean, if you have an 86.45, then I'm bumping you up. So I do my best to make sure you get the best grade possible as far as taking it out 2 decimal points to try to ensure that you get the best grade possible. But again, I use the plus minus system, and I just wanted to make note of that. And that pretty much covers it. The rest of the syllabus talks about resources that are available to you, like the disability services and the student support services, and please read those when you get an opportunity. So again, we're running about 20 minutes into this video. I want to thank you for being with us. I think we're going to have a great semester, and if you have any questions, please get a hold of me, and we'll chat. And again, I like to chat Skype if it's possible. You can do that. Let's do that because I like to have the eye to eye. It seems much more personable when we can do it this way. And let's take advantage of the technology. If this old guy can do it, or I shouldn't say old, older guy can do it, then I'm sure the vast majority of my students, I think the average age is what, early 30s here at UAF, so you're much younger, and I think you'll be just fine. I look forward to working with all of you of all ages, of all diversities. That's what makes this school so great. I love it here, and I love the people here. And I look forward to being with all of you, meeting with all of you, talking with all of you, and interacting with all of my students. It's what makes my job so enjoyable is to have experienced those interactions. I'm Jim McDermott. I look forward to being your instructor this semester, and we'll talk soon.